Hello, everybody. I'm back with another review, and this one is kind of special because during this time, of quarantine, I like to try to cheer myself up a little bit, as everybody is trying to do throughout this whole quarantine mess. And so, what I thought I'd do is probably cheer myself up by watching a good play, preferably a musical. And the one I chose was a musical adaptation into a movie that came out in 2012, and that is Les Miserables. This is one of my favorite musicals, and in fact, I think it is my favorite musical, right next to Fiddler. It really is tough. Sometimes I'll say Fiddler is my favorite, and then most days I'll say Les Miserables is my favorite. And it's really a musical that I really enjoy, and I also really like the movie as well. It's a film that I really like a lot, and mostly because of the performances and, of course, the excellent songs and the excellent direction. Surprisingly, that I noticed rewatching. Rewatching this film, I noticed really good direction. I mean, it's probably one of the best Blu-ray transfers I've ever seen. These images are just so colorful, and Tom Hooper directs these scenes so well as the actors. He's able to incorporate such color in his film that you really don't find in a lot of directors today. And one of the things I also like was how well he was able to focus in on the actors while they're singing and make it feel as though it's really happening, and make it as though it's actually dialogue that's coming out. And he really hones in on the emotion, which is, I think, most important. The thing I love about Les Miserables, among many things, is that it's able to convey its emotion to its characters without really having to say the dialogue. It's thrown through song, and most of the dialogue is them singing, and which is rare because in musicals you expect some dialogue, but this one it's 95% music and them singing their dialogue. There's only snippets of actual dialogue that's being said, not sung, and it works, I think, because without if it was just them saying the dialogue without actually singing it, I think it would lose a lot of emotion. And I think the actors really do a good job of singing it, especially Hugh Jackman and Anne Hathaway. These two are magnificent in the film, especially Hugh Jackman. This is a character that is challenged many times throughout the film. He's a character that starts off in a really awful place and is able to end up in a really good place at the end, which is very satisfying to watch and to see this character grow as the film progresses. So this video is obviously going to contain spoilers. So if you have not seen Les Miserables, this is your warning right now. We're going to get into spoilers. So we meet Jean Valjean, who becomes a different person. He is in jail. We see him at the beginning of the film in jail, imprisoned, because he stole a loaf of bread, and because he tried to run, it extended his prison sentence. And he's being tracked by this prison guard named Javert, this officer, and played by Russell Crowe very well, I might add. And so, because he is stuck at this prison, he's broken. His soul is broken. His memories of happiness are pretty much gone, and he basically has nothing. And once he's finally freed after 19 years of imprisonment, he finally has the chance to start anew. But because he had a prison sentence on his record, he can't find any happiness because nobody will accept him because no one trusts him. They just look at him and say this criminal. And so it's really, really hard to see this man's life, this man's horrible life, until he meets this priest. And this priest, he shows nothing but kindness to this man. And in doing so, he's able to open his heart to this man. And because he does this, he changes his life completely. The character of Jean Valjean is probably my favorite character in one of my favorite characters in literature. I mean, the character arc of Jean Valjean is done beautifully, and once he has his heart opened up by this savior, this angel of God, essentially, he's able to be put in situations, but able to always choose the right way because of this priest. he's able to open his heart more and more, and as he opens his heart, he's able to lead himself all the way back to God. And he's not the only performance that I really love. I love Anne Hathaway's performance. She plays a character named Fantine, and her character is a mother, is a single mother trying to raise her child by trying to get enough money, but nobody likes her, and because no one likes her, she is basically looked down upon, and no one will come to her rescue except for Valjean. And when Valjean meets, and when those two characters meet together, it really, really does show the compassion and the true nature of Jean Valjean. And what I love most about this play is the characters. The characters are so good. The characters across the board have something to bring to the table. You have, like I said, you have Fantine who's looking after this child, so you immediately feel sympathy for this woman because everyone's treating her like crap, like garbage. And then you have Jean Valjean who's trying to escape the persona of being nobody, nothing, a criminal. He's trying to escape all that. All of these characters are trying to find some goodness because right now everything is just garbage because of the French Revolution that this play takes place during. And the character interactions are interweaved very beautifully. And the songs in this play really help articulate that emotion, like I said earlier. Now, I do have some issues with the musical in general. I find the central relationship of Marius and Cosette, who is the daughter of Fantine, that Jean Valjean protects. I find that relationship between Marius and Cosette a little rushed and kind of odd because you really don't see these characters interact as much as you do with other characters like, say, Jean Valjean and Fantine, Javert and Jean Valjean. You really don't see them connect all that much, save for a couple of scenes that are very beautiful, and you sort of buy it, you sort of buy into it, but you would have liked a little bit more. You would have liked a little bit more character development in that relationship, and it really, I think, could have made this musical quite literally perfect. And as for flaws, I'm sure I could find many, but I feel like I'd just be nitpicking at that point. This is a wonderful, wonderful movie, and it really does capture the spirit of the original source material of Les Miserables, and it captures the material very well from the original book by Victor Hugo very well. And like I said, the performances are top notch, the music's incredible, and it looks stunning. The movie looks incredible. Cinematography, everything is incredible. I'd say I give this movie a 9.5 out of 10. It's not one of my favorite. Excuse me. It's not one of my favorite films of all time. It's not top 10. Probably top 20. I do love this film, and it holds a special place in my heart. All right. Thank you guys for watching.